Hi everyone, in this video we'll be starting with active and passive voice. First we'll be covering the basics and then we'll move on to the questions. So if you are an ICSE or IC student, you can watch it. Now I'll just tell you about transitive and intransitive sentence. See, transitive sentence is he visited Agra. That means there is this verb and then the object is there. That means it's a transitive sentence. You can convert this into passive voice. In the case of intransitive sentence, they cannot be converted to passive voice. I went to Agra. Here you can see this is the verb and then you have this preposition in between the object. So sentences which are intransitive in nature cannot be converted to passive voice. That's all I wanted to explain. On the other hand, transitive sentences can be converted to passive voice. Here, this is the verb and this is the object, right? So you can convert this into passive voice. Agra was visited by him. Now just tell me, can you convert this into passive? I went to Agra. Agra was gone. No, it's incorrect. It sounds incorrect and it is also incorrect. So we'll move on to the next thing. Ravi teaches Mohan. Here Ravi is our subject. Teaches is the verb and Mohan is the object. Okay. So when you convert this active to passive voice, this object swaps with the subject. This object will come here at the beginning and this subject will come at the end. Alright. Mohan is taught by Ravi. You'll also place this by. And third form of verb. This is mandatory whenever you write it in passive voice. Now let's talk more about it. What is the verb's third form? It is called the past participle of a verb. In English, we have three forms of verb: base form, past form, and the third form. Here you can see this is go. Now past form will be went and third form is gone. In the case of passive voice, we'll be using the third form. That is the past participle. Eat, ate, eaten. Write, wrote, written. So this is just to clear out some basic concepts because many of you don't know what is verb's third form. Okay? Just comment if you didn't know about it. The next important thing is change in pronouns. Active to passive. I will be written me. We, us. He, him. She, her. They, them. So when you write the sentences, when you write your answers, you'll be able to figure out what sentences you have to write. Okay, like normally when you speak English, you'll be writing it on your own and it's very simple to convert it into passive voice. Now let's talk about tense. Here, when you convert it into passive voice, these are the helping verbs that you will insert while writing the sentence. For present simple, you will be using is or are or am. So in all of these, you will be using verbs third form. Okay. Is and are will be used accordingly. For example, if it's a singular term, then is. If it's plural, then it's are. Then for present continuous, you'll not be able to understand right now, but when I start with the examples, it will be very clear. So just have some patience and watch the video. Now present continuous. Is or am or are plus being, being. In the case of continuous, you will always be using being. Then present perfect. Has or have and been. For perfect, you will always use been. Then past simple was or were, past continuous was were, being. See again. Past perfect, been. For future, will be. Okay. Ram eats mango. Ram is the subject, eats is the verb, and mango is the object. So you will be writing mango is eaten by Ram. This is the helping verb, is. And this is third form of the verb, eaten by Ram. Alright. Now I'll tell you how to convert simple present active voice into passive voice. I sing a song. This is simple present. Okay, so you will be writing passive voice with this is or am or are plus third form of verb. A song is sung by me. Simple. You are playing tennis. This is present continuous. You are playing. Okay, so this will be plus being. Tennis is being played by you. Since it was continuous, you will be using being. And tennis, it's singular, so we'll be using is. Next is present perfect. I have not written a letter. A letter has not been written by me. Since letter is singular, we'll be using has. He was preparing tea. Now this is past continuous. So we'll be using was or were plus being in the passive voice. Now let's move on to the next concept, that is modal verbs. Modal verbs are helping verbs that show ability, permission, possibility, duty, request, etc. Okay, so these are the common modal verbs: can, could, may, might, must, should, would, will, shall. Here the active structure is like this: subject plus modal plus verb plus object. So when you write the passive voice of such modal verbs, you will be writing object plus modal plus be plus verb plus by plus the subject. Okay, third form of the verb is mandatory. So it's simple to write. For modal verbs, you will be writing be. Let's move on to an example. She will complete the work. The work will be completed by her. Moving on to interrogative sentences. Here there are two possibilities. First is yes or no as the answer, and the second one is question starting with WH. Did he complete the work? उसने क्या काम करा? Yes or no? हाँ उसने करा था, नहीं उसने नहीं करा था. So there are two possibilities. Either you can say yes or no. In this case, you will be writing it normally. Was the work completed by him? Since this is simple past, so you will be using was or were. Now WH. What are you doing? In this case, you will be starting with the same term. What was being done by you? Since this is continuous, we will be using being. Now this is a special case. Who wrote the book? By whom was the book written? So note it down. You will be using by whom in this case. Now let's revise all of this. In the case of present simple, see it's written she writes a letter. We will be using is or am or are plus verb's third form. A letter is written by her. In the case of continuous, we'll be using being. In the case of perfect, we'll be using been. You can take a screenshot of this. Then she wrote a letter. Was or were plus verb's third form. A letter was written by her. She was writing a letter. A letter was being written by her. She had written a letter. A letter had been written by her. She will write a letter. As it is also a modal verb, a letter will be written by her. Thank you for watching this video. We'll be doing questions based on active and passive voice in the next part. And if you want to purchase my English language course, then you can do so from the link in the description box. For IC 12th, it has the full syllabus, which has the lectures along with the handwritten notes, plus the practice papers, which covers the PYQs as well. You will get directed writing, proposal writing, and then grammar practice, and all in one course. We also have other subject ebooks, so you can just check it out from the link in the description box. And it will be helpful for you in your board exams. So thank you and all the best.